with a few of my colleagues here. I'm going to have them introduce themselves as well.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emma. I work with Courtney in admissions in the Film and TV department.
Hello, my name is Will, and I'm a current senior at NYU Film and TV.
So today's webinar is going to focus on the undergraduate film and television department, which is housed at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts. And Tisch is one of 10 undergraduate schools at NYU's Washington Square campus in New York City, and is home to 11 different undergraduate majors, which you can see on this slide. Most of the departments, including the film department, are housed at our main building, which is located at 721 Broadway, right in the heart of Greenwich Village. So if you're looking for a community of like-minded artists, you've come to the right place. Now that we've done our introductions, I just wanted to go over what we'll be covering in today's webinar. We're going to begin by going over some more detailed information about the film department, along with areas of interest such as internships and study abroad. We're going to spend a fair amount of time covering the admissions and financial aid process for the 2021 application cycle. We're also very excited to have one of our current students, Will, joining us on today's webinar to share some information about what it's like to be a student in the department. And then we're going to wrap up with some information about our programs for high school students. First up to talk about the curriculum is my colleague, Emma.
Hello again, everyone. I'll briefly go over our required curriculum, which consists of 128 units. We're going to speak about double majors and minors in a few minutes. The bulk of the degree is the 54 film and TV credits. This portion of the degree consists of the following types of courses: history and criticism, core production, production safety, screenwriting, and craft courses. We also require 44 Gen Ed credits. Gen Ed is what we at NYU call traditional liberal arts courses, most often found in the College of Arts and Science. We want our students to be thinking artists, so we expect them to engage with rigorous academic work as well as their artistic endeavors. After all, you're going to need something to make movies about, and Gen Ed courses are where you can explore subjects you've always wanted to learn more about, from adolescent psychology to the science of happiness or the great novels of the last century. Film and TV offers a very student-driven curriculum. You'll notice that 54 plus 44 is only 98, but students need a minimum of 128 credits to graduate. This is where electives come in. After the film and TV and general education requirements are reached, students can choose coursework about which they are passionate to complete the remainder of credits. The same goes for the Gen Ed requirements. Let's get into some details. We know our students are eager to start making art as soon as they arrive, and our curriculum is built to facilitate that. All freshman film and TV students will take both an audio and visual semester over the course of their first year, though the order will vary. The visual semester consists of your first history and criticism course called Language of Film, a freshman colloquium, expository writing, a Gen Ed of your choice, and one of 3 core production courses: Intro to Animation, Frame and Sequence, or First-Person Narrative. The audio semester consists of your first screenwriting course, a freshman colloquium called Performance Strategies, expository writing, and again, a Gen Ed of your choice, as well as a core production course called Sound Image. As sophomores, you'll continue to focus on fundamentals, including screenwriting and sight and sound. Sight and sound is one of our fundamental and foundational courses, and is likely what you are picturing in your head when you think of a film class. Students work in crews of 4, alternating positions, to complete over 20 films each semester. That's right, I said 20. It's intense, demanding, and our students love it. After you complete your sight and sound courses, it's time to choose your own adventure. You can specialize as much as you'd like and focus exclusively on production-based courses all the way up through advanced production in your senior year, or you can focus on a craft like animation, cinematography, or sound design. Finally, you can take an assortment of courses both in and out of film and TV. It's entirely up to you. Speaking of craft classes, though, the areas of study listed here represent over 4 dozen craft courses we offer each fall and spring semester. Some recent course offerings have included, but are not limited to, directing the actor, the director's process, storyboarding, drawing and design for animation, intro to 3D computer animation, science of cinematography, camera lighting exercises, production design for film and TV, intro to editing, producing for TV, producing for film, studio recording, and podcasting. So that's the basics of what you'll be doing if you come to NYU Film. I'm going to pass the mic back to Courtney so she can talk a bit about how we approach filmmaking here at NYU.
So here in film and television, our faculty have a firm belief that the best experience is, well, experience. So first-year students make a production on average every other week, forming crews and making lifelong friends. You'll have your hands on camera or sound equipment within the very first week of classes. Now you may be seeing a theme here. We want you to try things you haven't done before, and we want you to have a working knowledge of the filmmaking fundamentals so that you can join the professional world as someone ready and able to contribute. Have you ever sat through the credits at the end of a film? That's 5 minutes of scrolling jobs, and you're going to have a working familiarity with what most of them are and how to do many of them, which will make you better at whatever you choose to do on set. Now, for example, many people ask us if they can major in something like animation, but that's not how the film and TV degree works. We give our students the fundamentals of filmmaking and the opportunity to specialize in whatever they wish or simply try out new things. So you can major in film and TV and still become a skilled animator. All students will graduate with the same film and TV major. However, the way they choose to take their courses and specialize in areas that are really important to them is unique to each and every student. Now, did we mention that you get to try new things? Freshmen are actually required to spend at least 12 hours on upperclassmen sets. And this not only gives you experience, but helps you build important relationships. If you connect with a senior when you're a freshman, the year that you go to graduate, they may be in a position to hire you for a job. Now, another film and TV mantra is that you can't make movies by yourself. To succeed, you really need to work well with others. And one of our biggest assets is our industry alumni, and that starts in the classroom. Many of the award-winning teams behind some of your favorite TV and movies started as a student film set. Many of them go on to form production companies together, and what began as a student collaboration becomes a professional partnership. That's why we always remind our students it's good to identify peers that you feel you have good creative chemistry with and trust, because you may continue to make beautiful work together for many years to come. I'm going to toss the mic back over to Emma.
So we've talked about what and how. Now let's look at where. For students in our program, New York City is your back lot. We have close relationships with all of the offices and organizations essential to production and used by the entire industry. The Mayor's Office, New York State Governor's Office of Film, and SAG-AFTRA, just to name a few. It's incredible access for students, but also an important part of our curriculum. Teaching students how to engage with these resources helps them to build important relationships and skills early in their professional careers. Coupled with our great internship program, our students get essential training long before they enter the workforce. Our students are busy, and those who truly excel are those who are good with time management and self-motivated. If you want to make movies, like say 7,000 of them, NYU Film and TV is the place to be. We wish we could show you around our facilities on floors 7 through 12 of our building 721 Broadway, but alas, we are temporarily closed to the public due to COVID-19. That said, we hope the images you see on this slide and in almost every other, which feature our facilities, help to paint a picture of what it is like to be a student in our department. From state-of-the-art classrooms, sound stages, mixing rooms, and editing labs, to our production center, where you will check out all your equipment, we look forward to reopening our doors in the near future and welcoming guests back. I'm going to toss the mic back to Courtney to talk about internships and careers.
Yes. So one of the real benefits, of course, to living and learning in New York City is access to professional opportunities such as internships. Our department has a dedicated internship coordinator that helps match students with the internships in and around the city based on their interests. Now, in order to pursue an internship for academic credit, you're going to need to have completed your sight and sound production classes, which means you can start interning after your sophomore year. If you're interested in pursuing an internship outside the film and TV industry, you can also utilize NYU's Wasserman Center for Career Development and their internship and part-time job database. It's also important to note that our alumni have access to the Tisch Career Development Office and all of their resources for 5 years after they graduate. Now, for students that are interested in merging the study of film and business, we actually have a special program for that. NYU offers a unique dual degree program that combines the film and TV curriculum with the Stern business curriculum for students that are interested in the business side of the industry, such as producing. Film and TV majors can apply for the dual degree program as freshmen or sophomores. There's an application and interview process involving faculty from both schools, and if admitted, you'll graduate with a BS in Management from Stern and a BFA in Film and TV from Tisch. The program takes approximately 5 years to complete both degrees. Now, if you're not interested in pursuing a second degree, but you have an interest in business, you can also consider adding a minor, such as the Business of Entertainment, Media, and Technology, or BEMT for short, or producing. Now, if your educational ambitions stretch beyond the island of Manhattan, we encourage you to study away and experience a different global perspective. NYU continues to send more students abroad each year than any other university. You can enjoy an academic semester at any of our 15 global sites, which include places like London, Paris, Sydney, or Shanghai. Or if you prefer to spend a semester away while still taking film and TV courses, you can elect to study away at a Tisch-specific site that offers film classes. So for example, you could apply to spend a semester in Prague, and while there, you can take a 35mm production class. Our campus in Los Angeles is particularly popular for our film and TV majors. Now that you're all excited to become part of the film and TV community, let's take a few minutes to discuss the admissions and financial aid process. Emma?
Thanks, Courtney. Applying to film and TV is a two-step process. First is the Common App, which is a platform many schools in the United States use to collect your academic data, like transcripts, essays, and letters of recommendation. Number two is the Creative Portfolio, which you will submit through slideroom.com. We will go over it in detail in a few moments. In order to be considered for admission to the Film and TV department, you must submit both the Common App to the NYU's Office of Undergraduate Admission and the Creative Portfolio to the Department of Film and TV by the application deadline for your chosen deadline. Speaking of which, let's go look at those deadlines. So you can apply as a first year using 3 different pathways, one of which has already passed this year: Early Decision 1, Early Decision 2, and Regular Decision. The deadline to apply as an ED1 candidate was November 1st. If you did apply then, you will receive your admission decision letter in mid-December. The deadline to apply as an Early Decision 2 candidate is January 1st, and you'll find out in mid-February. Regular decision applications are due on January 5th, but you'll receive your decision letter around April 1st. The biggest difference between these 3 pathways is that our early decision deadlines are what we call binding, meaning if you were to be accepted, we would expect you to submit an enrollment deposit and withdraw all other college applications at that time. In the U.S., you can only apply to one school early decision, and it should be the school you are most interested in attending. If financial aid will be a deciding factor for you for where you enroll next fall, we encourage you to apply as a regular decision candidate because it is non-binding and allows you to compare admission and financial aid offers from other schools. Transfer applicants applying from other colleges must apply by the April 1st deadline, and if admitted, your coursework will begin in the summer. It is critical that you apply on time, or better yet, early. I can't tell you how many heartbroken emails and phone calls we receive each year from students who fail to realize that midnight in their time zone fell after midnight in New York City, or those that had computer issues or Wi-Fi problems in the minutes leading up to the deadline. We are unable to reopen the application portal once it is closed, which is why we recommend that all applicants apply at least 5 days before the deadline. This also gives us the opportunity to let you know if any items in your portfolio are missing or fail to upload properly. I'm going to invite Courtney now to join me as we go over the 5 components of the Creative Portfolio.
Thanks, Emma. So now we'd like to go over the Creative Portfolio requirements for next year, and there are 5 parts, which you can see on the slide. We're going to go over them one by one in just a moment, but first we want to emphasize that we are looking first and foremost for storytellers. And almost as important, we're looking for your ability to follow instructions. This is a skill that is crucial to becoming a successful filmmaker, and it also lets us know that you are serious about your application. So please, don't submit long videos, don't exceed page limits, format things correctly, and check for typos. These details really matter. So here's what we're looking for. Part 1 is the resume. It should fit on a single page and tell us how you've spent your time in the last 4 years. We want to know about the creative projects you've been a part of, the sports you've played, the part-time jobs you've had, or the volunteer work you've done. If it was an important part of your life, please tell us about it here.
Next up is the Tell Us a Story prompt. This is a short story. We provide you 4 different opening lines to choose from. You choose one to start your story and then write the rest. We're looking for something engaging that builds tension and keeps us reading. We're also looking for a complete story in no more than 4 pages, so please don't give us excerpts or go too long.
Part 3 is what we call Tell Us About Your Selfie. Now, this is a short 1 to 2 minute video that we encourage you to make with camera equipment that is readily available to you, like your cell phone or a laptop. We want you to help us get to know you in a creative way. So what you tell us and how you tell us is entirely up to you. But we want you to be innovative and have fun. Remember that if you're camera shy, you don't have to appear on camera if you don't want to.
Part 4 is called What's in Your Carry-On. We ask you to engage in a thought experiment with us and imagine you've decided to go on a year-long retreat. We want to know what 5 things you would bring with you and why. They need to fit in your carry-on bag, and they should be things that will enrich your life on this deserted island. We want to be very clear. This is not a survivalist question. If you give us answers about how to escape the island or how to start a fire, you're not following directions. We ask that of the 5 things, 1 must be a book, another must be a film or TV show, and the 3 remaining items are up to you. They just need to fit in the carry-on bag.
Finally, part 5 is the creative submission. Now, you must choose one of the following options. You can do an artistic portfolio of 10 to 15 images of your artwork, or a film that's no longer than 5 minutes in length, or a writing submission of up to 6 pages. For all options, we want complete works, meaning please don't send us an excerpt or a clip reel, and we need you to be the primary creative force behind what you give us. We provide a long list of detailed instructions on our website, so please familiarize yourself with them.
And now it's my turn to emphasize what Courtney mentioned at the beginning of the slide. Follow directions. If it sounds like we are repeating ourselves, it's because we are. This is the single easiest thing you can do to improve your application and portfolio. After reading the instructions for each component, we want you to provide us with materials that will help us know who you are as a person and a storyteller. You do not need to have prior filmmaking experience to demonstrate that ability. Give us your best short story, your best photographs or drawings, show us what you are most proud of, and you'll be putting your best foot forward. Before I pass it back to Courtney, one thing we'd like to emphasize now that we have about 6 weeks left is that the sooner you open a Slideroom account and begin looking at the instructions in Slideroom, the better. A lot of the questions that you may be having right now as we are speaking, the answers are available inside Slideroom. So don't wait till you think you have all of the pieces of the portfolio done. Go ahead, start that Slideroom account, start that application now, and you will find yourself better served. Now, Courtney is going to review applying for financial aid.
I'm just going to go over what you'll need in order to be considered for financial aid or scholarships at NYU. If you're a U.S. citizen or an eligible permanent resident, you must submit both the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid, and the CSS profile. If you're an international student, meaning you're not a U.S. citizen, you need to only submit the CSS profile. If you're admitted, NYU's financial aid office will subtract your EFC, which is your estimated financial contribution figure, from our cost of attendance, and then package you based on the remainder, which is your financial need. Most financial aid packages consist of a few things like grants, loans, and work study and scholarships. The majority of scholarships offered by NYU take into consideration financial need and academic merit. Tisch also considers your artistic potential in this equation. There are a few scholarships which do not take financial need into consideration. However, the vast majority of them do. So we encourage all families to submit the necessary documents in order to be most competitive for all forms of financial aid from the university. Like the application and portfolio, deadlines are extremely important. Please don't submit your financial aid forms late. The Office of Financial Aid cannot consider late applications, so please mark your calendars and double check all forms and deadlines in the coming months in case anything were to change due to the pandemic. There's also some really helpful resources available on NYU's financial aid website for outside scholarships. Now, many of these scholarships require applications that happen now concurrently with the application itself. So this is really the best time to be proactively looking for outside scholarships. that pretty much sums up our overview of the admissions and financial aid process. We really want to take some time now to hear from one of our current students. So, Will, take it away, please.
Hello. I'm thrilled to be here with you all today. I'm calling in from Brooklyn, New York. Today I'll talk a bit about what it's like to be a student specifically in the undergrad film and TV program, but I'm also happy to answer any broader questions about student life at NYU. So to begin, I think one of the most important things to understand about NYUFilm is that this is a production-heavy program, meaning you will always be creating throughout your 4 years here. We emphasize the word production a lot, because this is no ordinary degree. You won't just be directing films. You'll be pitching and writing scripts in your screenwriting classes. You'll be casting actors and actresses for exercises in our TV studio or directing classes. You'll be handling expensive film cameras and other equipment. You'll be editing on Adobe Premiere, plus other software. The list goes on. And these are the types of things you'll be doing in your classes starting freshman year. It's okay if that sounds a little daunting, because the first year of film school here is truly all about getting everyone on the same page. NYU recognizes that every student comes in with a different level of exposure to film. For example, my high school did not offer any film classes at the time I was there. It's all part of the experience for every student to get the same solid grounding in a variety of aspects in the filmmaking process, which makes freshman year a very exciting time at undergrad film and TV. Another important thing to understand about this program is just how global it is. NYU as a whole is extremely dedicated to getting students out into the world through study abroad. As mentioned earlier, the film department has its own study abroad programs, which are extremely unique. But anyone has the option to do a non-specific study abroad program, which is what I did. I had the privilege of studying at our Sydney, Australia campus last spring and had a phenomenal experience, as evidenced by my kangaroo picture. I can't emphasize enough the importance of our global experiences here at NYU. But it's not just study abroad that makes NYUFilm global. The student body in film and TV is extraordinarily diverse. And as a student, it's wonderful to watch films made by your classmates that are in French, Turkish, Chinese, etc. I have friends and collaborators from all over the world, classmates that identify in a variety of ways regarding gender, ethnicity, religion, you name it. All this diversity gets reflected in the storytelling that happens here, and it's honestly one of my favorite things about going to school here. If you choose not to study abroad, that's completely fine, because New York City really is its own little world to explore. As a student here, New York does become your film set. Our professors, who are all either active or formerly active film industry professionals, really encourage us to use the city in our projects. So I was out in Central Park, recording sounds and filming the West Side coastline, all in my first months at film school. But it won't just be your projects you'll be working on. Undergrad film and TV is incredibly collaborative, which is the last thing I'll talk about for now. Not only will you be crewing on your friends and fellow classmates' sets for class, you'll also have the option to crew on upperclassmen projects. To make intermediate and advanced projects, which are made in your third and fourth year, you really need a full crew of students to make films of that caliber, and freshmen and sophomores are essential for that. Participating on upperclassmen sets is one of the best ways to learn about filmmaking,